jurisdiction, spiritual jurisdiction, and how to save your children. So this is how you save your children when you get, hopefully you'll never get to that point, but just to safeguard you want to start off by searching your code of laws, finding your code of laws. You, as a shareholder, have formed a corporation to provide for you your education, your housing, your medical, your dental, everything and anything, your boat, your house, your truck, your car, your Sea-Doo, anything, everything. You should not be in want. This corporation was formed to provide, to gather the resources from the federal government that were supposed to be for you. But instead, someone said, form a government pursuant to a constitution and bylaws to be federally recognized. And so once you've been federally recognized, you can throw the template away, or you wait for the second wave like we did. We had formed ours under the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act. So December 5th, 1938, we formed this corporation that's called the Absentee Shawnee Tribe of Indians of Oklahoma. This is not a tribe. This is a corporation that is formed by the tribe. So do not try to use the American words and the American terminology to define who you are when this is only a corporation. You, the ceremonial people, the indigenous people, are the tribal government. And if you're smart like us, you would have put your law in your court, your tribal law in here, in the courts tab, where it says to the law to be applied is your cultural customs and usages. So if it's not there, then you know it's an imposter tribal court. This is supposed to provide all your needs. This failed us. It failed me. They took the monies that we were getting to go to school. They made us go for a grade point average. Someone was not very smart in the education department to not to know that if you go get financial aid and you fail, then you're put on probation. Then you got to make good grades. And if you fail again, then you don't get financial aid and you have to make good grades to get back in the good graces of obtaining financial aid. Well, at the general council that I attended when baby was only 9 months old, this is what happened. They reduced, we were getting $4,000 a semester to go to school, to pay the rent, pay the diapers, the wipes, the daycare, all these things. It still wasn't enough. We had to get two families to live together and take turns watching the children to get an education. And they took that opportunity away from us. They did. Education department, the executives took that money to help us be up here, to be a doctor, to be a dentist, to be a surgeon, to be anything and everything for our people, to be the image that our children see as doctors, as dentists, opticians, optometrists, professional. Why aren't we the professionals in our own corporation? Well, there's people that don't like other people of our tribal people. So they'll try to hinder you to obtain this higher echelon of education to bring back to the people. So there's people in here too that hindered us. So I left. I voluntarily took myself out of the jurisdiction of this corporation. For 2 years, I was just, I guess you would say, a Native American. They had no jurisdiction over me. And so, fortunately, I have another corporation that I can apply to by treaty because I have land. I have 3 corporations that I could apply to be upon the corporate row because these corporations borrow your sovereignty. They borrow your sovereignty, the individual IIM account, the individual treaty, the ceremonial people. This corporation borrows your sovereignty. That's not sovereign at all. It is a persona. You are the shareholder that formed this corporation, that these people in here steal from you every opportunity to level up in this society that's against us. So when you go out here and you find your code of laws and you start reading through it, like I shared with you, the Attorney General's duties, I should have never had to go get legal advice from the judge who told me to get an attorney. Don't come back unless you get an attorney. Don't come back unless you get a lawyer. I didn't come back. I went and got my own law degree. I didn't come back. I took myself off this corporate jurisdiction back to the shareholder who formed it, to the treaty land. The treaty land. The people are the tribal government that formed this corporation. So you must petition a competent court of jurisdiction and utilize the supremacy clause of the Constitution of the United States of America. So if you're a war veteran, such as me, 3 wars and still alive, you have an oath to uphold that Constitution. And that supremacy clause, the Indian Commerce Clause, the Federal Enclaves Act, all of these are pertaining to indigenous people. So if you're a war veteran, you upheld the supremacy clause that states every judge in every state is therefore bound by the supremacy clause as supreme law of the land. So when I served the courts upon graduating from the University of Oklahoma College of Law 2018, I served the courts, the Western District, the crimes committed. I spent all this money, everything I had, just to get it kicked out. That judge was not a competent court of jurisdiction. That judge did not adhere to the supremacy clause. All of this. So what was I to do? That was way back then. Recently, last year, August 28th, my cousin's birthday, Leonard Dwayne Foreman Jr., the third, actually. He's the third, I think. I think he's Leonard Dwayne the third or something like that. He's named after Grandpa Foreman. Hey, anyway, it was his birthday. And I took off over there and I got the stamp and served the crimes that it's getting more in depth. It's getting worse. There are people, as by your Treaty of Greenville, Article 6, that states if any citizen, any white person, any corporation comes into Indian country and does you harm, they're outside the protections of America, and the United States government will pay on their behalf if they can't pay. They ain't telling you that part, are they? The damages done of the American government's citizens, if they can't pay, they'll pay on their behalf. I don't know why they're not telling y'all that, but just think, the judges, I'm probably older than them. I'm probably a lot older than these judges in the courts now. So I have to educate them using the professors' words from the University of Oklahoma College of Law, like Taiwagi, Helton, Professor Robertson, Professor Hager, who taught Indian Child Welfare Act, Professor Smith, who taught tribal courts. Remember now, University of Oklahoma is a powerhouse here in the state. This law school means something with the logo OU. It means things here in Oklahoma. So when we go to the Eastern District Court, I grab the professor's words and give it to the judge to where there's no doubt this is the law. I don't use my words. because I've tried them and they always get kicked back. So I started doing Uncle Bud. Eli Foreman had said to me, and I'll share with you again, Uncle Bud was to always sit down with me and Leonard and talk with us at the table. This time it was just me and Uncle Bud. He sat down with me. I think I was like 10 years old. He said, Michael James, do you know why you're Turtle Clan? You're Turtle Clan for a reason. You're going to live a long time. You're a war baby. Every 10 years, there's going to be a war and you're going to be a part of it. But there's a new war, and it's a war of words. You must use their words against them. I didn't know what he meant when I was 10, but I know now in this present time today, if you're out there fighting for your children in these courts, just know you have rights at any part of the proceeding to intervene. And when you do intervene, like I said, I am for hire. I am for hire, contract, keynote, web page, construction management, aviation. I got a whole lot. But right now, it's this that's most important to me, is the children, our children that have rights. Your family, your Indian family has rights. So I'm here just to share the truth. And if it lines up with your truth, the more people I can get together, the more we can save the children of treaty, of time immemorial. So if you're over here on TikTok, you can follow me over there for Mick James, you biscuits. Hey, let me see what TikTok has got to say. All right, TikTok, you're live with YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. You want to say hello? Say hello. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Twitch. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to TikTok. There you go. I hope you waved at them. Those are a whole bunch of Indians over there on Facebook. So if you are here, it's past your lunch hour. You better get back to work and chime in when you can.